So when you think about the power framework, I think that in my current role as a head of strategy and business development for a global unit or division, I think what's really important is when you build a strategy, you have to make sure that it also gets executed. Otherwise, what's the point of building a strategy? And I think that you have to prioritize what you need to do within the strategy. Therefore, you are able to execute. And I think that when you think about this, because you have an obligation, at the end of the day, you have an obligation to your shareholders, you have an obligation to your clients, to your peers. I have an obligation to my team as well. So the entire prioritizing what you actually do is critical for you to have a real impact. And I think that's what I strive to do. And then it's very important to focus on what is worthwhile, like worthwhile activities. So when you have your strategic priorities, how do you execute or how do you implement? What do they look like? And I think once you do that, you always work with stakeholders in strategy, right? And basically they are the ones who execute. But what's important for my team, I have to make sure that they not only are there to understand those priorities, what's the impact in the business, and how are they going to help the business be impactful and therefore be successful. So a head of strategy is basically a person that helps the business be successful. And my job with my team is to make sure they're totally energized because they understand what we're trying to do and basically get there with the president of the business. The last piece of the power framework is resources. So I think what's really important is to have the right resources so you can actually understand that how you can focus on those priorities, how you can make them happen, and attach the right resources to each and one of them, or in general. I mean, every priority is different, right? But the resources component is very important. So in terms of the number of resources, but in terms of the right resources, which resources should go to X, Y, and Z, and why? So I think that you have to apply the resources in two different ways, the number and whether or not they're the right resources.